Hello, Warriors fans. Today we got an exciting breakdown of the latest developments in Golden State and why things are about to get even more interesting for this team. Let's dive straight into it. The Warriors have been extremely active and thoughtful about their roster construction this season. And while everyone's attention has been on Steph Curry and his legendary performances, there are some pivotal moves happening behind the scenes that could shape the trajectory of this team. One of the major storylines revolves around guard depth and how the Warriors are increasingly loaded in that area, which brings both opportunity and challenges for the coaching staff. You've got Steph leading the charge as the undisputed star and floor general, but beyond him, the team is overflowing with guards who can create, shoot, and impact games in significant ways. Seth Curry's signing, for instance, brings another elite three-point threat to a team that already thrives on perimeter shooting. His familiarity with the system and his ability to stretch the floor make him an instant asset, and his official return this week has everyone buzzing because it solidifies the guard rotation in a way that allows the Warriors to maintain their offensive identity. Alongside him, De'Anthony Melton is making a return from his left ACL surgery that he suffered in early December last year. Melton's rehabilitation has gone very smoothly, and he's already participating in practice sessions and scrimmages, getting ready to contribute on the road. Once he's back in the rotation, the Warriors' backcourt will have even more options, giving them the flexibility to manage minutes and balance matchups across the league. While all this depth is exciting, it also introduces a question of balance. Golden State is undeniably guard-heavy. Steph is the star, and then you have players like Jonathan Kuminga, a forward who provides athleticism and scoring but can also slide into multiple roles, as well as versatile wings like Moody, PJ, and Buddy Hield, who have been contributing in stretches this season. GP2 recently had a breakout performance, showing the team has a wealth of capable players on the perimeter. Even with Draymond Green still anchoring the defense, the Warriors face a notable gap when it comes to reliable big men. Al Horford can provide value when healthy, and Kevin Looney can stretch the floor and handle certain responsibilities, but the team lacks a dominant interior presence consistently. This is where the urgency for a strategic move becomes clear. While the guard position is overflowing with talent, the front court is thinner, creating potential mismatches against teams that can exploit size and strength in the paint. This roster imbalance means Golden State might need to explore a trade or adjustment sooner rather than later, especially with a player like Jonathan Kuminga's trade availability on the horizon in mid-January. Adding to this urgency is the emergence of LJ Cryer, a player who has been absolutely tearing it up in the G League. Cryer came into the organization as an under-the-radar free agent and was initially part of the summer camp roster. Known for his elite shooting in college at Houston and Baylor, he showed flashes of brilliance during training camp and preseason games, making big plays and connecting on difficult shots from beyond the arc. His performances caught the attention of fans and analysts alike, but the depth at guard meant he initially got waived and moved to the Santa Cruz Warriors. However, that step turned into a proving ground, as Cryer has dominated in the G League, averaging over 24 points per game with 44% shooting from the field and 41% from three-point range on 12 attempts per night. His improvement as a facilitator and rebounder, in addition to his shooting prowess, has transformed him into a well-rounded threat. The Warriors are now faced with a pressing decision. How do you integrate a player like Cryer, who is proving to be NBA-ready, into a roster that is already heavy at the guard position but light on front-court depth? This scenario exemplifies the difficult decisions front offices face when a prospect outperforms expectations and could be snatched up by another team if left unprotected. The combination of returning players, the addition of Seth Curry, and the rise of LJ Cryer creates both opportunity and tension for Golden State. The Warriors have a unique chance to reinforce their guard rotation with top-tier shooting and playmaking, but simultaneously, they must confront the imbalance in their lineup that leaves them vulnerable in the paint and on the boards. Draymond Green, one of the best defenders in the league, can cover multiple positions and anchor the defense, but he cannot single-handedly compensate for the lack of size and interior presence. On offense, the absence of a dominant big man can limit certain sets and reduce the team's ability to generate easy baskets in transition and half-court scenarios. Therefore, the team is approaching a critical period where decisions about trades or internal adjustments are necessary. With a combination of elite guards, emerging talent, and underutilized prospects, Golden State is in a position where the front office and coaching staff must be proactive. Waiting until mid-January for the Kuminga trade window could leave the team vulnerable, especially as the competitive Western Conference landscape allows no room for hesitation. Looking at the broader picture, Golden State has multiple games against tough opponents on the horizon, including the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that has been extremely difficult to beat this season, boasting an impressive record. The Warriors also face teams like the Sixers, the Cavs, and the Bulls, along with other Western Conference contenders, making each decision about rotation, trades, and call-ups crucial for maintaining momentum. Even with Steph Curry managing his minutes and recovering from minor injuries, the team has the potential to push for a higher seed in the conference standings if the roster is managed intelligently. Buddy Hield's inconsistent production highlights the need for adjustments, as the team requires consistent three-point shooting and defensive stability from its perimeter players. With L.J. Cryer outperforming expectations in the G League, Golden State has a unique asset that could be leveraged either through integration into the main roster or as part of a trade package to address frontcourt deficiencies. The Warriors' current situation illustrates a fascinating balancing act. On one hand, the team is stacked with shooters, facilitators, and versatile wings, offering numerous lineups capable of putting pressure on opponents. On the other hand, the lack of a true dominant big man and occasional inconsistencies in guard production create a scenario that demands strategic intervention. Front offices in the NBA constantly weigh these kinds of decisions, balancing short-term success with long-term development, and Golden State is currently at one of those crossroads. As the season progresses and the return of DeAnthony Melton aligns with Seth Curry's signing, the team will need to make quick, thoughtful choices to maintain competitiveness while maximizing the potential of emerging talent like L.J. Cryer. This is the kind of season where every move matters, where timing and roster construction can make the difference between being a playoff contender or falling short in a stacked conference. As we continue to examine the Warriors' current position, one of the most intriguing aspects is how the team manages its depth at the guard spot while simultaneously addressing the need for size and interior presence. The guard-heavy roster creates incredible offensive versatility. You can run lineups with multiple shooters on the floor at once, allowing for spacing that opens up lanes for cuts and transition opportunities. Players like Seth Curry, Buddy Hield, and GP2 provide spacing and scoring off the dribble, while someone like Steph can orchestrate the offense and create opportunities for his teammates. Jonathan Kuminga's return adds another layer of athleticism and scoring from the forward position. But even with his presence, the lack of a true big man who can dominate on both ends of the court remains a challenge. The coaching staff is faced with the delicate task of maximizing production from a group that is naturally oriented toward perimeter play while finding ways to shore up weaknesses in rebounding, interior defense, and post-scoring. This is where L.J. Cryer's story becomes pivotal. His performance in the G League is not just a small sample or a flash in the pan. It's sustained excellence over 7 games, demonstrating that he is ready to contribute at the NBA level. Averaging over 24 points per game, shooting 41% from beyond the arc on 12 attempts per night, and expanding his game to include rebounding and playmaking, Cryer has proven that he can handle the pressure and the pace of professional basketball. For the Warriors, this presents both an opportunity and a dilemma. How do you incorporate a player who is performing at a high level into a roster already packed with capable guards without disrupting chemistry or creating redundancy? At the same time, his presence forces the front office to consider trade possibilities, either to balance the roster or to secure a true center who can anchor the paint. The timing of these decisions is crucial. With the trade window for Jonathan Kuminga approaching in mid-January, the Warriors cannot afford to wait passively. Every game between now and then is an opportunity to test rotations, evaluate performance under real game conditions, and identify gaps that need addressing. The Western Conference is as competitive as ever, and teams that hesitate often find themselves falling behind quickly. Golden State has to navigate this environment while managing injuries, minutes for key players, and maintaining team cohesion. Even with the return of D'Anthony Melton, whose defensive versatility and offensive contributions are highly anticipated, the balance of the roster will remain a pressing concern until strategic adjustments are made. In addition to roster considerations, the Warriors are facing a broader strategic challenge. They have relied heavily on three-point shooting and perimeter-based schemes in recent years, but this style has limitations, especially against teams with strong interior defense or size advantages. Kevin Looney and Al Horford can provide occasional relief in the paint, but neither offers the kind of consistent dominance that an elite center can bring. Draymond Green's ability to guard multiple positions and facilitate the offense is invaluable, but relying on him to cover gaps in rebounding and interior scoring is not sustainable over the long term. The coaching staff must balance the offensive strengths of a perimeter-heavy lineup with the defensive demands that come from facing some of the most physically imposing teams in the league. Every rotation decision, every minute allocation, and every potential trade becomes amplified in importance because of these dynamics. Looking at individual performances, some players have shown consistency, while others have struggled to maintain efficiency. Buddy Hield, for example, has experienced difficulties finding his rhythm this season. While capable of explosive scoring nights, his shooting percentages and defensive impact have been inconsistent, which poses challenges for lineup optimization. By contrast, LJ Cryer has demonstrated a remarkable ability to perform under pressure, showing both skill and adaptability. His development trajectory suggests that he could fill critical gaps for the Warriors if integrated thoughtfully, providing scoring, spacing, and playmaking in a way that complements the team's existing strengths. The front office must weigh the risks and rewards of promoting him, making room within a deep guard rotation, and potentially using other assets to secure a much-needed center. This period of the season is especially critical because the Warriors are in a position where they can make a push in the Western Conference standings. Injuries and inconsistencies among other top teams provide Golden State with an opportunity to climb higher in the rankings, but capitalizing on this window requires calculated decisions and immediate action. Trading or signing a player who can address the team's frontcourt needs could be the difference between being competitive in the play-in picture or securing a higher seed. Each game becomes a proving ground for the current roster, testing combinations of guards and wings while evaluating how emerging talent like LJ Cryer performs against quality competition. The coaching staff must balance development and immediate results, ensuring that every lineup configuration maximizes the team's potential without compromising long-term goals. In practice and scrimmages, the Warriors are experimenting with various lineups to see how players interact under different circumstances. The integration of returning players, the addition of Seth Curry, and the rise of LJ Cryer all add layers of complexity that require careful management. While having so many skilled guards is a luxury, it also creates the challenge of distributing minutes effectively to keep players fresh, maintain chemistry, and ensure that each player understands their role in different situations. Simultaneously, the team must continue to address the lack of interior dominance, exploring trade possibilities or alternative strategies to reinforce the paint. This balancing act is emblematic of Golden State's current season, a team brimming with talent, poised for success, but faced with structural challenges that demand proactive solutions. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Kevin Durant has sent shockwaves across the sports landscape with a move that no one saw coming, or at least, no one was willing to believe. According to growing whispers echoing through front offices and buzzing across practice facilities, the superstar forward has agreed to a 4-year deal with the Golden State Warriors, igniting a firestorm of speculation and disbelief throughout the country. What began as quiet murmurs late last night has snowballed into full-blown rumor, with insiders insisting that the agreement is real, even as both sides maintain a strategic silence. The idea of Durant returning to the Bay Area has long floated in the realm of fantasy, the type of storyline fans debated only in off-season hypotheticals. Yet those who claim to have knowledge of the situation suggest that preliminary conversations accelerated rapidly, fueled by a combination of renewed relationships, championship nostalgia, and a franchise eager to re-establish its dominance. The Warriors' core, still iconic despite the years, is rumored to have played a significant role in convincing Durant that the time was right for another chapter. Around the league, reactions range from disbelief to outright frustration. Executives are said to be scrambling to verify the truth, while players privately question how such a move materialized with so little warning. Some insiders are hinting that Golden State had been laying groundwork for weeks, moving quietly and deliberately to avoid the kind of attention that could derail negotiations. Fans, meanwhile, are spinning with excitement, anger, or both. Social media erupted instantly as the rumor spread, with debates igniting over legacy, loyalty, and the balance of power in the league. If the signing is indeed finalized, the ripple effect could reshape strategies for numerous teams, altering expectations for seasons to come. For now, everything remains suspended in uncertainty. But the whispers are growing louder, and the sense around the league is unmistakable. Something big is happening, and Kevin Durant may once again be at the center of a basketball revolution in the Bay. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.